Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. It's a beautiful day for the Pirate Broadcast, and welcome again to another amazing story. Let's see how amazing we can share information. Michelle, welcome to the Pirate Broadcast.
Thanks for having me again. It's wonderful to be here with you. You're such an inspiration.
Fun. It's
It
fun.
is. It is. Yeah. It's always a joy to be here in this moment.
And I just really, we were talking before the show about care for ourselves and burnout and some of the things that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with. And I want to dive into it a little deeper. And I just know that I think you've discovered a way that you can actually bring some of this together. And I want to have you expand on that a little bit about how you have been managing your burnout and also helping your daughter, because we just touched on it, but I wanted to expand on that in our conversation today. So,
sure, I'll be glad to. I think first step is being aware of what's on your plate and how many balls you've got juggling in the air as entrepreneurs, as parents, as caregivers, the whole gamut of life. And you have to have lots of self-awareness of what's on your plate. And sometimes it might take a fringe item where you find yourself in a position that your mindset isn't quite where it usually is. You don't have your game on. You're frazzled, you're tired, you're feeling a little beat up, and your confidence level is low, your positivity is a little bit low. But you have to be very aware. I learned that recently. I went through COVID, actually had tested positive and went through the whole sense of feeling awful. And I couldn't quite put my finger on why I was feeling more awful mentally and emotionally than anything before. And I think there's two things to touch on here. One, and we didn't discuss this before, but I realized this the other day when I was thinking about, is that we have to, and you made a really good point, we have to be mindful of what we consume. Because our subconscious mind is really great at playing games with that information that we assimilate. And with all of the stuff that's going on, the negativity with COVID, I had set myself up for a mindset of, oh my gosh, if I get COVID, holy crap, I'm done, right? And through the experience of having COVID, I'm like, I couldn't figure out why my mindset was like, I'd totally lost my groove. It's like, where did I go? What happened? Well, I did get lost in the hustle of everything that I've got going on. And then I realized I got burnt out.
Yeah.
And I also allowed the negativity of COVID. Yes, it is negative, but there are some good things that can come from that if we choose to find them. Right. And just that assimilation of information. And it's like, oh, I should have just got off media a long time ago to think about things of ease and flow and how my mindset's working. Well, then when it happened, it's like, holy crap, right? And then I realizing, well, I've got burnout. So how do I deal with that? Well, one is you've got to give yourself a cushion. And that cushion looks like every day spending time for yourself in routines. And I know we've all heard this before, but I'm telling you, people, it really works. Get into your routines of finding space for you. Mine is a self-guided meditation in the morning and in the evening. But then I also have a space like behind me. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I paint. And even through COVID, I found some time for myself, as sick as I was, to find the love that's inside that I love to do, which is get creative. And it didn't matter what it looked like. It didn't matter what it was going to turn out like. I was just going to put my paintbrush to the canvas and get creative. Some people, it's pottery. Some people, it might be making digital media. Some people, it may be reading, but you've got to find your space where it's something that you love. And every day you make an effort for yourself. You give love to yourself. Yesterday I was driving to work. I want to share this experience really quick. And a song came up by One Republic, and um, the words love and light and flame and being the center person until the love's all gone. And I sat there and I went, yes. What was it about that song? And I said, yes, because I need to love myself enough, not till the love's all gone, but unconditionally love me, to give myself time and energy to do those things that help me to create positive energy in myself, to keep myself centered and grounded. And sometimes it's a song, sometimes it's painting, sometimes it's reading something inspirational, mindfulness of what I consume every day. And I have to do that. And why is it so intrinsically important in our household? As a career mom, as a working mom, as a working single mom, as I have a child with special circumstances. And when my center ground is not even killed, the first person it affects is her. And she doesn't get my best version of myself. And I can't give her my best version if I'm not centering, if I'm not mindful to those intuitive and instinctive prompts that I get on how to help her. And one of the instinctive, intuitive prompts I got recently was there's a company called Creative.
Uh-oh. We'll wait to have Michelle come back. Hopefully she can come back. And I just want to mention that creativity is something that creates energy for me. And I wanted to, is that something that you have experienced as well? And I would love to learn more about how creativity allows you to expand all of your energy, positive energy. And we're talking with Michelle today, and hopefully she can come back. Looks like she's having a technical challenge and a connection. So we'll just do that. And you know what? We'll just continue. We'll continue with the pirate broadcast, because the reality is we're here today, and creativity is something we were talking about, challenges and being burnout. And I just had this conversation yesterday, and there's so many things that are happening in the world today that can create burnout. It can create, all of the things that are going on around us. If we start absorbing all this negative news and information, it just has a way of bringing us down. And I just want to remind people that you have an opportunity to create something from yourself and leave some of that stuff out of the picture, and ignore the noise around you, and put that in perspective. So Marcia's in the room today. Marcia, good morning, pirates. Ahoy, germ-free mates. Yes, we are germ-free. So thank you so much. And also, good morning, Russ and Michelle from Elise. Elise, thank you so much. I really appreciate you showing up here. It's really important for me to continue to do this. Good morning, Michelle and Russ from Groovy Los Angeles. We're coming back. So here we are. So we'll put this back in and get back on track. So Michelle, we're back. I was just
Sorry,
that's okay.
difficulties.
Yeah, well, it happens. So Luis is in from LA. Went through the same thing. Absolutely, Russ. I use humor as energy. I love that.
Yay.
Marcia says, aren't we seeing burnout center stage at the Olympics right now? I have to believe that the answer is yes. So absolutely. We're seeing it around. Luis says, sometimes we need to reboot our mental machine. 100%.
Yeah, we do. We do.
So before you were so rudely interrupted by technology, Michelle, we were having this great conversation, and you were sharing about how creativity brings energy. and how it's brought energy, even when you're not feeling it. If you just pick up the brush and do something productive, it really makes a difference. So I just want to reset where we were in our conversation and make sure that you have an opportunity to finish your thoughts and continue your story.
Well, yes, it does. Creativity, it helps reset you, it grounds you. But the most important, I think about creativity is that it opens a channel where you can receive information and intuitive and instinctive understanding, where creativity becomes innovation to help other people. And one of those innovations for me is this company called Conscious Inc. And I found it on Facebook. It's an ad, and that's okay, because it kept crossing my path until I opened it up and I looked at it, and I'm like, and I thought to myself, there is something about this that I need to understand and I need to participate in, because I'm looking for an answer. So when I'm creative and in the quiet and I'm allowing that sense of creativity to flow within me, even though it's not directly related to the problem solving I'm needing, I also know that eventually that creativity, that positivity, that energy flow will bring forward answers that I'm looking for. And I did find an answer, and the answer was this: creating a community support system for my daughter, who's going through some life changes at the moment, within the next month or so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an unpacking and unboxing of what I've ordered, a video content, and then share the process of what I'm going to do to support my daughter, which is find positive affirmation, which I have, and I'm going to make a temporary tattoo because she loves tattoos. And I'm trying to find a positive, innovative way for her to find her energy. She's a visual learner. That's the part I didn't tell you about. She's a visual learner, and if she visually sees something, then there's a reminder for her on how am I going to work today through my challenges. No, not challenges, opportunities to do better. We use positive thinking at home, and it's not challenges, it's not problems, it's opportunities to grow and live into. So with her therapist and her team, I invited some close friends, and I'm talking about this project of videoing, creating content where we ink ourselves with conscious ink, positive affirmations, and to support her, to help her see that there are other people out there that can support her possibilities and her opportunities of creating a community that helps kids like her to live and to grow and find positivity and strength in themselves. So that's my latest and greatest project as a parent. Creative Inc.
They're temporary tattoos, right?
Yes, they're temporary tattoos.
Okay.
They're not permanent, and there's free tattoos that you can get. There's a social movement in part of the concept from Conscious Inc., and you can go get the free tattoos. So I've got a box that I've ordered, and when I get it, we'll be doing an unpacking video, and then we'll be doing an inking video, and then I'll invite other people to go to their website. I'm not getting paid for this. I just think it's a really grand idea where we get to visually every day see the things that we want to work into, that we need help and support in, and that we can touch base with other people and share our ink. So basically what you'll be doing is you'll ink somewhere. You can ink on your wrist, either side, somewhere. Send a picture of that ink to support Peyton. I have a Facebook page called Peyton's Lane. It's a private group, but if you ping me or DM me or tell me you want to, I'll add you to the group, and you can see what we're doing with pictures of groups of people who are coming together to support a community of caregivers and children with special circumstances, or just everyday people who are, everyday heroes, where we get to support each other and celebrate life. We don't have to keep doing things till love runs out, like this song said, and I talked about it earlier. And for me, the message I got was, unconditional love.
Yeah.
And care for yourself, unconditional love, and care for your community. So we can be light, we can be that flame, we can be that center person and use that energy to help others, because we don't know what anyone else is going through, but we can certainly present ourselves in a way that gives a sense of, I can do this. There is hope, there is drive, there are people out there who are struggling, but we can find a way where we can get together and, consciously, be innovative and creative. Maybe it's not ink for you, but maybe it may be something else that will help you find that sweet spot where you find that energy, that move, that groove.
For me,
that
it's
way
the
of
pirate
being.
broadcast. It's sharing people like yourself and stories like we're talking about today. I just really I want to say hi to Howard Kaufman. Thank you so much. So much is how we simultaneously frame and filter all of the external and internal stimulation. That is so true.
It is.
How do we manage through this maze of information? Charles says that's good. Awareness is key. And Stephen Sullivan, hi Russ, nice to meet you, Michelle. Thank you so much for being here, Steve. Appreciate it. Steve's a pirate as well, so I mean we got lots of pirates in the room. So,
yay!
Michelle. So this we've got this ink project going on. You've got your artwork. You've coming out of COVID. You're managing. You're getting creative. So some of the things that are changing in your life are, also keeping you grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like, we have to manage through these things, and there's challenges and opportunities, right? There's always an opportunity to learn, grow, and succeed in some of the things we're doing. So what's on the next step for, what do you see in the future for this ink project and helping it expand for your daughter?
Well, I just think that for her, it's a great conversation piece. She's starting junior high this year.
Okay.
So it's a great way to get her peers involved and have conversations about, and I know her so well. I can say that there's times when she was in elementary school, she took a leadership role with the peers of special needs kids in her environment, in her classroom. And she could see them struggling. And so she'd be like, this is what my mom taught me. And this is what we do when we get stuck. So I'm thinking that this is another way of her actually stepping up and having a conversation about what's helping her. When I told her what it was that I was doing, she's like, because I said I have a surprise. There's something new that we're going to start working on. And she's like, what is it? And so I told her about it, and she just jumped up and down. She was just so excited. She says, you're really going to do that for me? I says, yes, because I know that tattoos interest you and this is temporary, but you get to choose what you want to do. So I think as far as this ink project goes, it will be not just family, not just friends. It'll be people sharing how they're using conscious ink, how they're using a way to level up their positivity. And when we really think about it, one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is to level up our sense of positivity and find a framework where we can be present visually to what is a reminder for us. And so I think we're going to have weekly reminders of what we're working on this week. What is our ink? What is our conscious ink? What is the subject that we're talking about? I walked into a provider's office this week, and I want to say something. I think there is great innovation in what some providers are doing for pediatricians are doing for kids these days, because we're fully aware of, yes, we have a pandemic, but there's also another pandemic we need to be aware of, and it says social ills related to mental health. and kids growing up in a society and in tons and tons of media where it's this expectation that they should be a certain way. And that creates a lot of stress in those young people. Even Peyton feels it. And so I think we need to consciously, as parents and as groups, and what I saw in this doctor's office was phrases like, I am enough.
Mm-hmm.
I am doing great things today. There were positive affirmations on the wall, and I'm like going, we need to speak into that as parents and as caregivers, that everyone is enough. We were intrinsically always created with everything that we needed inside of us, but we've learned a bunch of stuff that takes us away from the inner child. And by helping Peyton see that inner child that knows inside what she's got and keeping that surface instead of, well, I'm not enough, Mum. But you are. You've always been enough. And I think having those conversations with kids and helping them to see that they are enough and that there isn't this per se model of what you should be because of what we see on media. No, you just be true to you. I think there's going to be lots of other conversations with parents and my Michelle moments that I started on LinkedIn where, you know, Peyton was my first guest on Michelle Moments, where we talked about traditions. You know, when we come home, what do? We have conversations at the dinner table. We ask how our day was, what was the best part. And one of the things that she came up with is, and she said it on the video, hey, everybody, are you?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, technical challenges are just at the pinnacle of the story. So we have to make sure that Michelle comes back, and I just want to be able to put that together because we're here. She's coming back. She's coming back. We're here. There you are.
I am. One of the things that Peyton brought up was, when you're coming home, are you coming home to things or are you coming home to people? And I thought, she is so instinctively right on the mark.
Yeah.
What are we coming home to? Are we home to be with relationships and people? Are we home to things? So I love her to bits. She's an amazing, incredible kid. So I think we have to have those conversations with our children. The dynamic of parenting isn't as traditional as we've known it, and we have to shift those parenting skills where we're having conversations with our kids, meaningful conversations. You know, we have to choose to be that parent, you know.
Yeah.
So often we hear, you know, we have to be stalwart and do certain things, but I think for me as a parent of a child with special circumstances and needs, and we all have them, we all have stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
One of the great things about teaching her is about having conversations, and it's safe to have a conversation. It's safe to speak up, and it's safe to find a way where you share your voice and you find those innovative ways where their voice can be present in your life so that you know and understand what's happening for them. And it's not just about our kids, it's about all of our relationships across the board that we build in business, in our work, in our communities. You know, having that mindfulness is important. I mean, what do we stand for? Is it our relationships with people, or is it stuff?
Yeah.
They're important. They help us do things. Don't get me wrong, but I think we have to get to the core of what our principal values are, where we stand, and frame our lives around what matters most. I mean, for me, it's about a legacy of, how did I touch people's lives? How did I help somebody? How did I inspire? That matters to me.
Absolutely.
Those other things are important, but they're not the most important, because, you know, if I was to accumulate wealth and well-being, and those are all good, but how did I touch somebody's lives? How would I want somebody to remember me? Because money can fade, everything else can go at a blink of an eye. You know, we talk about 6 degrees of separation, and we can all be in that position of losing something. and having to go through that. But
People
what
will always
helps
remember
us,
how you made them
yes,
feel, right?
yeah, right. That's really important. How did somebody make you feel? How do you every day touch a life and be an unsung extraordinary hero where you see somebody who has a need, you feel the want to touch their life, then if you've got that instinct and that intuition to do it, sometimes we hold off because like, oh, and we think about our ego and, it's not, there's certain things, parameters we have to live into, but touching a life is touching a life and we never know where they're at. I know that I've experienced in my lifetime when somebody touched my life, I was struggling financially and I went to go pay a bill and a stranger behind me, I had like, I think 53 cents I needed to pay this bill and I didn't have it. The stranger gave me $2
Oh, man.
to help me. I didn't know who they were. I stood there and I cried and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that moment.
Yes.
And we don't know where we're at. We don't know. I mean, we know where we're at, but we don't know at any point where somebody else is at. And because of what she did, every day, I look at how I touch people's lives, how I, set myself to make a choice to be kind, to grow those positive, affirming feelings in others, so that they have a great experience.
It's you always have to reflect on, you don't know what other people are going through. You don't know what's going to take place in their lives, and you don't know what they're dealing with and what opportunities they're working toward. And so I just want to make sure that appreciate what we have and appreciate what others are working on and have a little empathy and a kindness and consideration. So
yeah, those soul languages, those intrinsically soul-centered languages that help us grow into and live into being that person that has an understanding and awareness. You have to be aware to have awareness of community, of other people. Life isn't about us. Life is about everybody else and how we can move past ourselves to touch the life of another person.
Howard says you are also identifying the emotional need that pets, particularly cats and dogs, provide too, especially single households.
Yes.
Absolutely, Howard. And then want to become famous. Wendy says, we love pirates with voices like this and a heart that is so beautiful, calming, and inspiring at the same time. Excellent additional, Admiral. Nice to meet you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Thank you. Paying it forward creates amazing universal positive. It's absolutely true. And I just really, Steve says you have seen it all, Russ. Yes, I have. I've seen lots of it. Michelle, I just really want to thank you for being here. I know that we're over time and it goes by so quickly. So thank you so much for showing up, being here.
You're
sharing
welcome.
these inspiration and also working towards a better outcome in your goals and the goals for people around you as well, especially your daughter, and wishing Peyton the very best as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here always. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you ever. I'm here to cheer you on.
Absolutely. And everyone, thank you so much for being here. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. I know I have a YouTube channel. And also just connect with each other because kindness is cool and smiles are free. And you enjoy the day. Take care. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate.